Hey, it's Snowflake. I'm going to show you how to do log and transfer in Final Cut Pro. So to start off with, I have all of my files on my iMac on the desktop. And I did this by dragging them. So what we're going to do here is I'm just going to show you where I have this all. It's in this projects folder. Okay, 10x Publishing is the one we're working on, and this is day 3. So I'm just going to move this folder onto the desktop right here, out of the folder it was in, so you can see that right there. Now, we're going to go into Final Cut Pro, and we're going to do log and transfer. Now, log and transfer is right here in the File menu. Now, the reason why we do log and transfer is with Panasonic, some Panasonic cameras, it captures in AVC HD, which is a compressed video format, and Final Cut cannot edit that natively, so you have to take it into its native codec, which is ProRes. Now, in log and transfer, you can change the quality of the ProRes, which I do, and I go into this little gear tab here. You can see that, and preferences. Now, under AVC HD plugin, right now it's set to Apple ProRes 422. I changed this to 422 LT. It's slightly less quality, and for what we're doing, barely noticeable. And it takes up less hard drive space. For the audio, I'm going to set this to plain stereo because it's just there's no multiple tracks of audio, and that's what you would do for matrix stereo. I'm going to hit OK. All right. Now, the other thing that we're going to want to do is change the names of the files as they're brought in. So Final Cut automatically names them. Don't need to do that right away. First, what we're going to do is we're going to bring in our files. Okay, so it's on the desktop. It's in 10x Publishing. It's in day 3. And these are all, this is the way that the device we use backs up the data. And these are all the AVC HD folder structure for how the video is saved. So we're going to highlight all of these and open them. And it takes a second here, but Final Cut will bring all this in. And the way that we have our cameras labeled and the way that the files are saved gives us a clue at what camera was doing what. So I know that based on these dates, what camera is what. So don't think that I'm just miraculously guessing here. I just kind of, I know this is how we do, this is our system. So this 2012 date here, I know is camera 1. So I'm going to highlight those, and I'm going to go into this name preset. And in the custom name with counter is what's selected, but I go into edit, and actually that is what it's called, the custom name with counter. And basically what I did is I dragged into the format of how I wanted it named right from down in this area and dragged it up. So it's custom name and counter. And I go down here, and the way I label it is D3 is going to be the day of the footage, not the drive this time, but actually the day. So this was day 3, and it was camera 1, so we're going to label this C1, not C exclamation point, C1. And notice that I have spacing in between all of the files here, because that just, I don't know, that's kind of how I like to label it. So our incrementing counter is starting at 1, and we're going to hit OK. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to do this add selection to queue, and it's going to add the 3 files that I highlighted into the queue, and it's going to start bringing them into ProRes. Now, if you've set up your capture scratch correctly to whatever drive you want to capture to, that's where it's going to save the file in your capture scratch, and I have it set up to the hard drive that I'll be editing off of. Now, these files are 2023, and this here I can see is camera angle 3. So I'm going to go in here, I'm going to do edit again, and this time I'm going to change this C to 2, and I'm going to make sure that this is starting at 1 again, because it's going to be a new set of camera angle files. These are highlighted, add selection to queue. This is 2024, which is camera 2. I know the numbers are completely arbitrary. Edit. I'm going to do the same thing. A little bit of rinse and repeat here. C3, 1, OK. Add selection to queue. And then we've come to our final, which is 2026, if you see that labeling there. And that is our line cut. That's basically our pre-cut or our live cut of the seminar. So I changed that to LC for line cut. Increments starting at 1, hit OK, add selection to queue, and now all these files are going to be brought from ABC HD into ProRes LT. It's going to save it in your Capture Scratch, and then they're going to automatically dump into your project file over here. And then we'll put them in the video and label them and organize them accordingly. So, thank you for watching. If this was helpful, if you like this video, please like it, please subscribe, and please come back for more. Thanks!